allow myself to be entertained by two decks for which we never thought we would see paired up against one another.
Yeah.
So
Are you not
let's enjoy
entertained?
this.
This is gonna be great.
Yeah.
And yeah, and everybody's like, oh, there's I'm sure there are people like there's some other great players there, some people online, some streamers or whatever. But look, you are not gonna see another Amethyst Emerald Mirror in a top cut.
Thank you.
For the rest of this set.
Maybe for the rest of your life.
Maybe. All right. So you will watch this and you will love it. No, this is going to be really fun because these are at their heart, these are mid-range decks. Mid-range decks are cards or decks that can go either aggressive or control based on their matchup. Both of them are going to put hand pressure on. They're both discard decks. So they have obviously the exact same game plan. And so what we're going to see here, it's going to be very, very tit for tat. One player trying to establish board presence, the other in the control role, then somebody applying some hand pressure, the other person applying hand pressure. And the victory is going to come to, I think it's going to end up being with the person who has, the strongest early game, who gets their key opening. Then in the mid game, the card advantage is going to matter a ton. Whoever manages to get some genies on board, whoever manages to establish a Diablo, if one of them can get a Diablo to stick, that's huge. And we're going to have some Diablo on Diablo battles here. And then in the later game, cards like getting a genie established and then leveraging the Elsas properly in that genie battle will matter as well.
The genie, the famous genie battles of the Azerite,
right?
They're back.
They are back. Hey, looks like Mo Shamlin showed up in the chat at the right time. There we go. Mo Shamlin playing this deck or a version of these colors in Continentals. So kudos.
Absolutely, yeah.
To Mo.
So speaking of dealing with Diablo is going to certainly be kind of a linchpin here. Like Diablo is the thing that nets the most draw for them, aside from potentially a Prince John. Prince John I've seen in the newer versions of this build. There are various amounts of Prince Johns that I've seen. I will tell you, I won't spoil the whole thing, but I will tell you that there are at least one in each of these decks. I won't give you the numbers. I'll let you learn for that yourself as we watch through this game. Oh. But that's another mechanism for them to draw as well. The more that they can draw, the more they keep themselves in this game, the more that they can keep responding to it. And oh my goodness,
look at those birds.
We're here at Parrot Island, everybody. This is a parrot jungle.
So many birds. 4 birds. Oops, all birds. Yeah, Knive would be impressed. So yeah, we do have the Diablo shift line available there on Carson's side. We know it might be available on Trevor's, the Diablo being established on turn 1. If one player manages to get a Diablo to stick on turn 2 or 3 and be active for several turns, that could be a huge difference here. So both players here playing Diablo, looking at each other's hands, saying, I see you, you see me.
Yeah, you go.
There it is. Lots of songs and actions over there. I'm missing what 2 of those are, but we do have a Friends, which are run in some versions of these, not others. Sudden Chill as expected. I am not sure if the Diablo is, no, it doesn't look like it. So
it doesn't.
Not necessarily potentially a great opening here for Trevor on the play. We'll see what he has on turn 2.
Yeah, and what we
so there it is.
We're gonna try to pluck some songs.
Let's take a look again. We'll see. I know you didn't have it. Well, no, we did see the Bruno go right to the discard pile. Yeah. So some wonky sleeves there, throwing me for a loop a little bit.
Yeah, they're like foil sleeves. Is what it looks like.
That's super cool. So yeah, we will get rid of that Bruno. Not a terrible turn 2 into this matchup, but I think that might have been the only option there.
Yeah, you're right. And in kind, so that's gonna leave. It's hard to see those 2 on the right there, or the 2 that are on the bottom, but we do see a Sudden Chill, so we know at least there's a target.
Yeah, but it looks like we're choosing here. But look at that Diablo getting online is going to be big. We talked about key is who gets their opening. And this is if not the perfect, it's a very good opening here for Carson.
Yeah, and it looks like it was Friends on the other side, and Elsa, the 5th spirit, and Bruno that was in the rest of the hand. Oh yeah, there's Mo. Yeah, Mo. Yep. You should. Please.
It's true. In this meta, whenever 2 Emerald Amethyst decks play in the top cut, it summons Mo into the chat.
He starts vibrating. He can sense when this is happening.
He's like, I'm being called, like the bat signal.
It's a bird signal, in fact.
Oh dear. But getting that Diablo established is big. I've lost track of whose turn it is. All right, back over to Carson.
Absolutely. And
Mo, stop distracting me.
Yeah, come on now. We love you, but geez, Louise. But we do see. This is a very thinky game. You're used to playing in a world full of Sapphire Steel, that they try to do things like ping your characters, they try to damage your characters. You live in a world of Ruby Sapphire, they try to board wipe, they play things like Sisu. This is a very, very different game, and you approach it extremely differently. This is this becomes a matter of who can manage their board state the best and who is able to make the most effective trades, as using the challenge, being able to challenge is the primary method for which you are going to control this board, barring things like, we don't talk about Bruno, barring some of these things on the outside, but it is primarily challenge focused.
Yeah, an absolutely brutal turn there from Carson, establishing the Prince John and then singing twice Sudden Chill. You know, sometimes it feels pretty not great to spend a card to discard one card from your opponent's hand, but when that card is replacing itself with the Prince John, really, really good. So huge. That's a 2-card swing in hand total, or a 4-card swing total.
Correct.
In hand advantage there, and just an absolutely brutal turn from Carson.
Yeah, and we're seeing the Hypnotize come down.
And the third Sudden Chill.
It does not stop. And look we are now in a very precarious situation. Carson is currently sitting with what appears to be about 7 cards in hand. Trevor with nil
and
with
top
nothing.
deck mode. Yeah, absolutely brutal. And this is what we saw. And Trevor just saying, "Yep, that's it." I think this is what we saw happen when Green Steel was first established. Diablo and Prince John equals half your deck in hand.
Yes.
I mentioned earlier today. I remember, I'll never forget Zan said, working his way in Vegas through the top cut there with 20 cards in hand at various times, just drawing so many cards off a combination of those two. And this deck, this new variation of Emerald Amethyst, is doing exactly what that deck does, bringing in basically almost that exact discard package into this build. And used to great effect there.
Yeah, and the build, it's really learning what it is. There's so many variations right now. They're really trying to pin down which one is the best one. I've seen versions with Ursula Deceiver of all that's trying to double sing that Sudden Chill, double sing that Friends on the Other Side. I've seen versions that use more of the Diablos. I've seen versions that use less of the Diablos. So we're in a period now of trying to figure it out. Now, while we wait, we are taking a look. Okay, so it looks like the team table, or the secondary table. That table has Dick Burns, and I forget who else is currently on that. I got to double check.
I forget who it is, but I'm not sure if everybody noticed, but they use Islands from Magic for ink tokens, which threw me for a loop the first time. I was like, this is like two worlds colliding. And then I posted about it on various social media platforms because I loved it.
Yes, that's great.
But it was a lot of fun to see. And there must have been like 40 ink and play that game that we just switched to, but now we're back over.
Yeah, both games ending at about the same time. That's interesting because this game ended pretty quickly.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like since Kendall Burdett showed up in the chat, we should remind everybody that in the top cut we saw no Amethyst Ruby, sadly. So
I can't imagine what it is about Kendall that made you feel that was important to say. I have no idea why you thought that was important. None whatsoever. We love you.
Having a little fun here as we get ready for game 2. So again, just
sorry, Kendall.
Kendall is full on other colors right now. It's bad when Kendall's playing other decks in tournaments and stuff. So okay, so back over to this match, again, talking about the keys to victory are the opening, and then I think the card draw in the mid game through one of the various outlets, and then in the end game, if we ever get there, you're looking at establishing genies, and then the genie wars with the Elsas. And so the opening here, so huge. We'll see. I think we've done the alterations already.
Yes.
Interested. On how aggressively they're mulling, because I do not see the Diablo opening on Trevor's side. We have the different Diablo, actually. Okay, we do have a Diablo opening. I'm so used to the other Diablo.
There's 12 Diablos to choose from.
There's so many Diablos in this version. So many birds. So this Diablo comes down. This Diablo, of course, is the one that replaces itself when it's banished. Fun little card to get some more early and force your opponent to respond. And you get another card off of it.
Yeah, that's not horrible. We do love to replace cards in our hand. Great card. Even when you're playing Ruby, if you're playing against Ruby, that card is fantastic to deal with things like those board wipes that are inevitable. So when you think about Diablo, this Diablo, the purple Diablo, or rather the Amethyst Diablo, and look at that.
This is a mirror.
Carson's like, you know what? I like that idea. I'm going to do the exact same thing.
Yep.
It's such a great card. Let's say you do get rid of it, you get to draw a card. And that Ursula coming down second turn. I mean, you just gotta. You've got cards in. You've got Sudden Chill, Friends on the Other Side. We don't talk about Bruno. There's a pretty high shot that if you don't see the hand prior to playing that Ursula with the Emerald Diablo, you can still pretty much be somewhat confident that there might be a song in there. Now, in that particular case, there wasn't. And that's a testament to Carson knowing the matchup and understanding hey, if I get this in my opening hand, I might want to alter that away. I might not want to keep that.
Yeah, against Deceiver, yeah, I always, yeah, those songs are precarious to keep them. Better to have them be ink or sent to the bottom of your deck. And here we are. Ooh, so many options. If you're going to keep a song, keep two.
Yes.
Because you're going to lose one. And there goes Sudden Chill. Interesting choice here. Keeping the Friends. Friends, we can hard play at this turn, but won't be able to be sung for a little while. Sudden Chill, of course, available to be sung by the Ursula. And then we do have the shift into Diablo.
Yep.
Oh, that's so brutal.
That's rough. That's rough. Yep. We're looking at the infamous turn to Diablo.
I was gonna say we could draw into Diablo and answer the Diablo for Diablo, but we drew into the wrong Diablo.
Yeah.
So that goes to the Inkwell. We have Hypnotize in hand and then Crab. We're going to play it, give something challenger. Nothing, though, available to be challenged. That Diablo has evasive, of course, so it's going to come back over to Carson, ready. And let's see how he continues to develop his board here.
Yeah, certainly. And there's no Earlmeister in the chat noticing a pretty spicy piece of tech that is sitting in the hand of is it Carson? I believe. Yeah, I believe it might be Carson's hand. There's an interesting card in there. We're looking at You Came Back. Interesting tech, great card. We will tell you, since you're seeing it, this is a one of in this particular deck. And yeah, it's in there, but there's another card in the deck that I'm not going to spoil it yet. You might see it, and so if you do see it, we'll talk more about it. But yeah, the You Came Back has more purpose than we think. It's pretty cool.
All right, so the Crab on board didn't do much last turn, but it is a character available to sing, Friends from the Other Side. So we'll get 2 cards there, then put an Improvise into the Inkwell.
All right, and we're seeing the speed. The
quest for 2.
Yeah, there's a quest for 2.
That Diablo on the board is not great, although, Friends from the Other Side feels good to draw 2 cards. Not so good when you're giving your opponent 2 cards as well.
Correct. Yeah, it's not great. I mean, now what you have, if Trevor can get to that evasive Diablo, I mean, in effect, they check each other. They become ways to deal with each other. There are other ways to deal with it as well as we get closer to that number 5, which is a very important number of ink for either player. There is a very, very powerful Frozen Queen waiting beyond that 5 ink, and that can certainly deal with problems like Diablo as well.
Let's see. We are very close to that 5 ink threshold.
Yeah, and and both hands are reasonable. You have at this point, if I'm playing against these, I have to assume they've got it. But what we have is, and what we see is a Madam M Fox. Okay, and the Fox will certainly start to deal with the board. Managing the board state is important in this matchup. If you are the person that's got the most hands and the person who's got the most characters on board, you are generally the one in the winning position, and you want to kind of keep it that way.
Absolutely true. So driving the Lord to a little bit there, keeping that Diablo in line, dealing with some threats. We have 5 ink. There's Elsa, the 5th spirit. It's going to come down.
There she is. We love her. She's frozen.
She's frozen. Exert that. The Diablo's exerted already, but challenge into that Diablo. And for good measure, we're going to exert the Ursula and remove the Crab. So there, I mean, big swinging board state here. Feels a lot better on Trevor's side of the board there, but just look at that hand disparity, though. That Diablo did so much work that, Carson has a wealth of cards to deal with this. Going to take a peek. We see a Diablo and an Ursula, nothing too threatening there. Trevor will pick those back up, and Carson will figure out which one of the other 8 cards he wants to play here.
Yeah, so many options, so many play lines. It is certainly a curse of just too many options. This is like a Cheesecake Factory menu. It's just too many options. Okay, and I'm willing to argue with anybody on that point, but that's beside the point. Let's talk about Lorcana. As we see, okay, so we're seeing this is from the new set. This is from Acacia's Island. It is the Amethyst or the Amethyst Emerald Diablo that has Challenger +2. It also has evasive, and it's got I forget. We got to take a look at the health.
What did you say? I think it's a 2. I think it's a 1/2.
Yeah, it is. It's a 1/2.
What did you all call this? A hook bird? Somebody referred to this as a hook bird. Maybe chuckle. It's basically Captain Hook with the 1/2 Challenger 2.
Diablo over here.
Unfortunately, it doesn't protect me, but so many Diablos on the board over there. We do have another Elsa come down. It's a very good top deck in this scenario. We'll exert one of those Diablos, challenge into it. So not a terrible thing to establish here. And then we're
No.
going to quest for another one. So very good top deck there. But again, Carson with plenty to work with over on the other side.
Exactly. Admittedly, the top decks are working in Trevor's favor, but that can only last for so long before you start to see some things that you're just like, you know what, this might just have to be ink. So can Trevor's deck keep providing the answers needed, or does Carson already have the answers to get him to the 20 lore in order to win this game?
We'll see. Neither player really driving their lore totals just yet. Both playing a game of board control and hand advantage here.
Absolutely.
Another interesting point on Diablo, I think we're going to see it in action here. No, I'm actually going to challenge there and clean up a very favorable trade there, using that challenger to great effect. What I was going to say is Diablo as a 2-drop slot also serves as a 2-drop singer. We see Sudden Chill in hand, so it could be used there to apply even more hand pressure, but instead making a very favorable 2-cost for 5-cost trade on that Elsa. And here's the genie.
Oh no! Here's the first strike of the genie wars.
The gauntlet has been cast. It feels like set 6 again, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Yeah.
We have an Elsa on the board, genie. So here we go, and then there's the Sudden Chill, which will be hard played. 2 cards left in Trevor's hand, so we'll lose one of them.
That is rough. That is rough. To continue to put pressure on Trevor's hand, that does not feel good. You see it on Trevor's face. Trevor's kind of thinking through, like, what does my deck need to give me? What outs do I have?
Another Elsa would be nice. Let's see. Nope, it's a Diablo.
It is a Diablo. All right, we're throwing down an Ursula, Deceiver.
Take a peek. Let's see what we can see. Okay, then we get that Diablo in play.
Yeah, and we do see the Queen, the Jealous Beauty. Another new addition, a legendary from Arcasia's Island. For those of you who don't know, she is a 4-cost, 4-strength, 3 willpower. Her ability, No Ordinary Apple. You can tap her. You choose 3 cards from your chosen opponent's discard, and you put them on the bottom of their deck to gain 3 lore. And if any princess cards were moved this way, you get 4 lore instead.
Yeah, I'd love to see that do some work this game. It's a fun card. But Carson over there with some removal, bouncing the Diablo back to Trevor's hand, not wanting him to get that online, and then it'll be immediately discarded. Discarding a card at random is pretty easy when you only have 1 card in hand.
Yeah, exactly. And what we see is a Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno more specifically. Now, the thing here, though, is that generally speaking, when you play that card, you should have done enough discard where it's effectively just a discard card, like discard a card, take a card and banish it. Unfortunately, there's about a 25% chance that it'll be caught here. It is not. We caught a crab instead with that Bruno. So that's 1 card down. Carson is operating with less cards than he was previously, but yeah, definitely is still in a better spot than Trevor.
But look at Trevor here, managing to drive his lore total higher. I mean, I definitely wouldn't say he's in the beatdown role. The hand advantage still solidly with Carson, but as you pointed out, I mean, he had a fistful before, and now he's down to like 3. I think 3. So definitely still, I feel like he's in the driver's seat due to resources on hand, both in the inkwell and hand. But Trevor managing to turn the corner just a little bit. But this is a lot to deal with here. Diablo is pretty much a must answer card. And going to turn on here, get Carson even more cards, and then Genie again, just a threat that you have to answer at some point. So 2 cards that Trevor now has to worry about.
Yeah. Now, in effect, what Carson has done is, by playing that Diablo, Carson is saying, hey, I just need one. I just want to see 1 more card. You got Elsa on the board. Elsa certainly going to take care of it, and does.
And a great top deck here, I think, in this scenario, with the Fox being able to bounce the Elsa.
Yeah.
So that Elsa goes and cleans up that Diablo, getting maximum value out of it, then returning back to hand to threaten whatever else comes down. That Genie, able to put a couple damage on that this turn. So
yeah,
what a great top deck in this scenario.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, the whatever luck points Trevor's been building up is certainly working out for him at this point.
He's an old Yu-Gi-Oh player. What is it they say in Yu-Gi-Oh? What's that? Heart of the cards.
Heart of the cards.
Heart of the cards. Is that
Heart of the cards?
Definitely working in Trevor's favor right now.
That is certainly true. And I've even seen Trevor pick up the cards using the 2 fingers, using the first and middle finger to just grab it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not seeing that. I'm just messing with you.
Well, let's see. So we do have the Bruno again. I think we'd love to get that Elsa instead of that Fox. Which one is it?
It's the Fox.
Again, Heart of the cards. I think Carson would have loved to hit that Elsa there, representing a much bigger threat.
Yep.
And oh gosh, but back now it's even all at 6.
It is even all, yeah. And you've got a Genie who is the sole combatant of the war at this point, and an Ursula Deceiver who's saying, "Hey, what's up there, buddy? How's it going, Genie?" And we know what's in Trevor's hand. Carson was trying to get that thing out with that talking about Bruno, but it was unsuccessful. We'll have to figure out another way. Although, Lucifer is a card.
Lucifer is a card.
Lucifer is a card.
Yeah, this cunning cat, he comes down and forces your opponent to discard either 2 cards or 1 action card. I think we had 2 cards there, no actions available, so that queen will go to the discard pile instead of being played. And man, now the resource advantage is purely even. And with an Elsa's Fifth Spirit as the 1 card over there in Trevor's hand, that, I don't know, it has to feel pretty good right now. Again, another killer top deck in this scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's sort
what do we do? Oh, we do have an Elsa. Looking at this, yeah, another Elsa Fifth Spirit. So another great card here, coming down, exerting that Lucifer. We won't get the 2 lore off of that, and then we will sing a friend from the other side here, drawing 2 more cards.
Okay,
it's okay, no lore gain there, but doing a little board control.
Yeah. Listen, resources are resources. That includes cards drawn. You need them. We saw Carson extend. I don't want to say overextend, but extended to a point that put him at the same hand size as Trevor, and needs to be able to recoup some of that.
Yeah, and the Elsa coming down here could have challenged into that genie to put a little damage on it. Chose not to expose it. There's crabs roaming around and other threatening things. So let's not do that. But we did draw another friend from the other side. This one won't be sung. It'll be played with ink, drawing another 2 cards. And we did draw into a crab. So the choice not to put some damage on there and be exposed to the crab definitely paying off here.
Absolutely. The heads up play there, I think, is fantastic. This is somebody who has practiced this matchup, in my opinion.
Bruno coming down. We're going to do odds and even. Then we're going to hit that Elsa.
We caught her.
We caught her finally. I think I may have seen a little fist bump from Carson there as he hit the card that he was looking for. And now a Diablo coming down. And man, those 2 friends from the other side, back to back, netting Carson a ton of card advantage. And we're seeing that in full effect on the board here.
100%. Yeah. And these turns are just.
Did we just top deck an Elsa?
What's that?
Did we top deck an Elsa?
Is that what I just saw? Are you
not as good here in this scenario, but no. Still.
Oh my goodness, this is insane. And people are joking in the chat that Trevor's going to top deck a win, and I'm starting to believe him. This is getting wild. Let's see how we can pan this out. So Carson is certainly in a better position right now. Their hand sizes are about the same, but board state is we see the queen. The jealous beauty. She's down.
This is going to do some work, some lore work here.
Absolutely.
And things have fully swung here. The Elsa the Fifth Spirit was a great card a few turns ago, but with a wide board like this and without anything to challenge in play, and some high, willpower characters on the other side, not as impactful. But this will be interesting. Cricky here giving extra strength. What a great top deck again, giving extra strength there to Elsa, able to challenge and remove that to Lore Genie. So another fantastic top deck, allowing Elsa to one-shot things. Yeah. And then we will also get that extra strength with Ursula, who's going to move in and challenge the crab. So again, top decking exactly what Trevor needed in order to remove 2 threats. Now that fortunately Carson now is up to 13. That queen's going to do some work.
Tough.
And it's going to be tough to come back from. But again, if you're going to get back into it, that's one of the ways you need to do it is
absolutely
trying another cricket. So wow,
this is just so. I mean, let's take a look at where we are here. Trevor has been trying to fight back. So Trevor has been in it for quite a bit. We are starting to turn the corner here. Unfortunately, we're seeing Trevor's luck is slowly running out. And part of that has to do with just Carson's ability to. Carson got that Diablo down first. Carson was able to utilize getting to see more cards. Was playing friends on the other side. Was just really taking advantage. And look at that. Was really taking advantage of the fact that draw is so important in this matchup. While Trevor was top decking the things that he needed to deal with the immediate threats, Trevor did not get the opportunity to draw anywhere near as effectively as Carson did in this game. And we're seeing the result of that now as Carson is ticking down. We're currently at 16 lore, which means we have more than enough, especially with the Queen's effect.
Yeah,
more than enough to close this game out next
time. Yeah, I have to chuckle a little bit. There's a bit of Disney lore that we have to bring up here because in Disney lore, Elsa is not a princess. There's the Disney princess line. Elsa is not. Elsa is a queen, and you see that reflected in Lorcana here. So if you do the math, if you got 4 lore off the queen, I think that would have been enough to win the game that turn. But because she's a queen instead of a princess, you don't have quite enough.
That's correct.
So that's a fun little tidbit there.
Yeah, I actually had to go and check just to be sure. I'm like, wait, is she? Could she be?
I had to double check as well, but that is constantly debated in the Disney world about whether she's a princess or not. She is not.
Well, absolutely.
Wow. That was not the tit for tat that I expected in the way that we thought. Because I think both games, Trevor didn't get the opening that he wanted. In both games, Carson was able to establish that Diablo
Yeah.
and just get